Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. Well, it's going to be Berserk related, but it's going to be related to Elden Ring for the most part. Now, I'm sure you saw the title of the video already. We're going to be talking about Griffith and Miquella. Now, there's a theory going around in the Elden Ring community. It's not really widespread, but there's a couple of followers, a couple of people who believe it might be true, that Miquella might be modeled after Griffith. There's a lot of similarities there. So I just wanted to go through some of those similarities, talk about what they might mean for the game going forward, and what might eventually happen in the DLC that's coming out on June 21st. So let's talk about that. But before anything else, let's just kind of give a brief overview of who Miquella is to kind of give you a refresher. Okay, so according to the Elden Ring wiki, Miquella, the brother of Malenia, is one of the Empyreans. Cursed to be perpetually young, he created the Halig tree to allow himself to grow into an adult, and to purge the rot from Malenia. This was after the realization that the Golden Order was unable to cure Malenia from the rot. Before he could grow the Halig tree to its full potential, Miquella was stolen away by Mohg, Lord of Blood. Now, Mohg wished for Miquella to be elevated to the godhood with himself as Miquella's consort. However, regardless of how much blood Mohg tried to share with Miquella, there was no response, because Miquella had in fact stripped himself of his flesh, and thusly traveled to the land of shadow. Now, Miquella has the ability to compel affection from others. Now, this is referred to as terrifying in the Shadow of the Erdtree trailer. Perhaps this is why he is known as the most fearsome Empyrean. Nevertheless, Miquella's Halig tree provides shelter to those without grace. Now, it is said that he'll be waiting for a promised lord and will guide the Tarnished into the land of shadow. He is also referred to as Miquella the Kind, who abandoned his golden lineage. A lineage secured by Marika through what appears to be a great war, and a massacre carried out by Messmer. So you can see some similarities between the two. Both were very beautiful. They were chosen ones. They had a different vision for the kingdom than what was already in place. Now, one of the theories floating out there is that Miquella and Messmer are in fact the same person, much in the way that Radagon and Marika were also sort of that same entity. And when you consider that Griffith has these two separate entities, one that is pure goodness, that is Griffith, the White Hawk, and one that is pure evil and malice, i.e. Femto, a member of the God Hand, this kind of makes a lot of sense. We see that Messmer is pure evil. He looks like he's coming from the pits of hell, whereas Miquella is just light, bliss, beauty. They're two sides of that same coin. They're complete opposites of one another. So to have them be that same entity once again could be very likely. I mean, if their parents are one entity, why couldn't they be one entity as well? Now, what's really interesting is that the Halig tree became a haven for people who had become rejected by society, such as the misbegotten. And Griffith brought about the world spiral tree. It became one with the physical realm. It always existed, but through Fantasia, it overlapped the astral and physical realms. It became a safe haven, Falconia that is, which is right by the spirit tree, for all the people of the world, so that they wouldn't have to deal with trolls and giants and various creatures roaming about. So in one instance, Griffith has the world spiral tree, and he makes the safe haven of Falconia, and Miquella makes the Halig tree, which becomes a safe haven for the misbegotten. And speaking about the overlapping regions between the astral and physical realms, otherwise known as the interstice, we have a very similar situation playing out in Elden Ring, because we got the lands in between and we got the Shadowlands. And it seems like there might be a merger that's happening. It seems like Miquella / Messmer, if in fact they are the same person, might want to bring them back together again, which is what Griffith is trying to accomplish in the current chapters of Berserk. Now, there's one more piece of the puzzle here, and I gotta give a shout out to someone on Reddit. His name is Hollow Interstice, and according to him, he has this whole Trinity theory, which seems to make a lot of sense because Griffith also exists as a Trinity. There's Griffith, the good guy, there's Femto, the bad guy, and then there's the Moonlight Child, i.e. the godlike Messianic figure. And this might be the same thing that's going on in Elden Ring as well. We got Messmer, who seems to be the devil-like character. We got Miquella, the good character. And then we got Saint Trina. Now, Saint Trina is a very mysterious figure. Some say he's a boy, some say she's a girl, but one thing is for certain. He's a mysterious individual who's associated with incantations that induce sleep. And one of the things that Griffith does throughout the Berserk manga is that he visits people in their dreams and he's able to manipulate them. So it seems like there's a lot of similarities here. It seems like, I mean, we know for sure that Miyazaki takes a lot of influence and inspiration from Berserk, so it wouldn't be surprising that Miquella is based on Griffith, and possibly Mesmer is that other half, is that quote-unquote femto half of Miquella, and then Saint Trina is like the Moonlight Boy. It would be very interesting if it played out like that. I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out June 21st, which I can't wait for, but man, it's very interesting. You can almost imagine a situation playing out where like you fight Mesmer and it seems like the last battle, but then there's like a second or a third phase where it's like, oh no, now you gotta fight Miquella. So who knows, like maybe Miquella turns on you at the end, just like Griffith turned on the Band of the Hawk. Would they go that deep? Would they go that far into the lore? Who knows? But it's really exciting to speculate about. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comments. And of course, if you haven't, subscribe if you want to check out more stuff from my channel. But yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side.